Welcome to the Property Profits Podcast. Thank you so much for jumping on today.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? This is Travis.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for talking to David. He's kicking butt, huh? He just started with us.
Oh, that's good.
Thanks for considering us.
You're welcome.
All right, he told me you were selling 634 Spring Street over there in Clifton Forge. I really like that area. I got a buddy over there.
Yeah, it's a very good area. It's close to the White Sulphur, the Greenbrier, Hot Springs.
Heck yeah. I like it. It's a really hilly area over there. It's really nice. But he said that not much needed to be done on the property. If we were to buy this thing from you, what do you think we need to do? Just to get it picture perfect.
Really nice hardwood floors. They would just need to be sanded.
Okay.
The walls just painted and maybe patched from where we had tenants that put nails in the wall.
Yeah.
And I would probably take the deck off. I had that because we lived there.
Okay.
That deck that's been on it, it should be repaired. That was when my grandmother was living there. That's been there since then. So I would probably repair the deck.
Okay.
Or just tear it down and do something different.
Yeah.
Now the roof, I'm not sure. It's probably the same roof because this was my grandmother's house, and then my father paid for it, bought it, but it was for my grandmother. So it's probably the same roof that she had there. So it might need a roof to be replaced.
Okay. So you inherited it. And it's vacant, and you're just looking to cash out.
It was my dad's. My dad's in hospice.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and just need to. My family and I, we lived there. My husband and I are pastors, so we were planning a church there in the area and doing a lot of outreach. We just are in Texas now, and it's too hard for me to keep it up, and taxes and all the different things that go into that house. So it would be much easier to just sell it.
Yeah.
Now I will say, even though my dad and my mother paid for the house and kept it up, my grandmother did not have a will. So when she passed away, even though my father kept paying for it and kept doing everything for it, but when he got sick, that's when all the heirs come. So there are 3 heirs along with my dad that get a fourth of whatever is sold for. And it's no problem, but it's just there are 3 other heirs that I had to take it out of my grandmother's estate and put it in their names.
Okay.
And I have that paperwork and everything. I've already told them I'm selling it. Nobody pays taxes but my dad. Okay. Even though they're heirs, none of them do anything. And that's why I told them what we're going to do is sell it. And even though I don't agree that they should get a fourth because they've done nothing, it's still better for me if they get their fourth and that property is gone.
Yeah, that makes sense. So they're all willing to sign if we come up with an agreement.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But the last offer that they were willing to, we had an offer for 52. I do not want to go less than that. I thought that was low.
Yeah.
That was as is. That was just, it was an investor. And I know that he does a lot at the Greenbrier because now they're starting to try to buy. It's only 10 minutes away, 10, 15 minutes away from the Greenbrier.
Yep.
20 at the most. So a lot of them are now spilling out into the smaller towns close by. A lot of people are buying them and doing Airbnbs, and I would do that. It's too far from Texas. I'm in Arlington, and it's just too hard to try to manage it. Right up from the house, there's a blue house right up. That's an Airbnb, so it's a very good area, and a lot of people from Northern Virginia are buying.
Yeah. In
that area, the mountains are beautiful.
What happened? What happened with the last offer?
It was me. I just, at first, it was like, and we could have been sold it, but at first it was a shock to me because my husband and I have put $10,000 into the property by ourselves. So the fact that my dad would only get $10,000 from years of paying the taxes, years of putting brand new windows, those windows in there are new, brand new furnace. It's a lot of money have been put into that house. And initially, my father only getting $10,000 was offensive.
Yeah.
It was just offensive. But It's just how it is. They didn't put that stuff in place. So right now, it's just going to be better that it is. But I would like to see a little bit more than at least the 52.
Yeah. Were you the one that kind of called off the contract before? Or did the investor back out?
Oh, no. It was me. Yeah, we were down to the last signature. Yeah, it was me. Because you just have to imagine you watch your family pour money out of your house into a property and to only get $10,000. That was very offensive. And I went through a little period because it's family and everybody, oh, this is your house. And then when he gets sick with dementia, now everybody wants to cash in. So that was a problem for me initially.
Yeah.
And what I was going to do was just go through, I forgot what it's called, but the courts and try to get them to sign off on their portion. But everybody just sees money right now. So I don't even have I'm dealing with my dad in hospice. So that's the last thing I want to worry about.
Yeah. So there's no mortgages or liens or anything on this, right?
Oh, no.
Would y'all be open to getting a little more money on this if I could pay you over time?
What do you mean by that?
So a lot of investors, I'm sure you've gotten a lot of offers that you didn't like. That's why you're upfront with that. Thank you for letting me know that.
Mm-hmm.
Since you don't have a mortgage on this, if you would take payments maybe over 60 months, I could pay you a little more. So say that I were to be able to pay you $60,000 at $500 a month.
You're good, because this is what I'm getting ready to do in Texas. Because Texas is an awesome market for investment properties. They have the tax deed monthly.
Yep.
For me, I would like to just be done with it.
Okay.
Now, how would you do that? So would you would pay for 60 months? You would just pay $500 a month for the property?
That's it. But we would take care of taxes, insurance, maintenance. You would become Wells Fargo. You'd be the bank. You'd be in first lien position.
And you would do really well because you'd be able to rent it out.
Correct.
You'd be able to do a lot of things.
I could get you more money for your family's property to where
What'd you say?
I could get you more money for your family's property so you felt better about it. And I could do better.
And you could what?
And I could do better on my end. I'm trying to create a win.
It wouldn't be, if it were just my dad, maybe. I've got 3 other people with their hands out, and so you would have to divide that $500 into, I just feel better about selling it and being done. Even if you did 55, could you do 55?
I can't go up on my cash price. So there's actually a comp I have right down the road. This is a very nice house, and I really like it. I'm on the fence on this comp, but there's one that's worrying me. It is off of 6th Street, 409 6th Street.
I know that. I used to run. I was running for council there. So what street? You said 6th Street.
409 6th Street. It went it went for $63,000. Mm-hmm. It's a 3-bed, 1-bath. It's the same square footage. Mm-hmm. So that's the only thing that's worrying me, because I am an investor, which I want to be fair.
Do you know about that area?
I don't know about 6th Street. No.
Let me tell you, Spring Street is going to be a lot better than 6th Street.
Okay.
That's the first thing. That area over there, it's right as you go into Roanoke. Mostly everybody that lives there goes that way. Everybody has to go that way to Roanoke. It's a very good location. The lawn, the views are amazing, and the neighbors are amazing. And that's key too. Yeah. You don't have a whole lot of anything over on that side.
Yeah. So
you just do your research as to, even though you know that house, you just have to understand the area too, the area that house is in.
Yeah.
That's going to matter. But I know, because I live there, and I would still be living there if it wasn't for the heirs.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a whole lot better to sell it. But if it were just me, like I had a garden all through there, raised beds. I can show you pictures of what I did out there. It's amazing property. The only thing that I didn't do that I should have done was a fence.
Yeah.
Because it's too open, but it's beautiful. It's a very quiet area. you wouldn't have a problem. And then I ran for council, so I know how the zoning laws are a mess. So I know dealing with that town, because there's an Airbnb and different things already there, it'd be a lot easier to do things on that side. But it's just do your research. Don't just look at. You got to look at everything.
What
when
about
it comes to properties there?
Yeah, what about Roxbury Street? Are you familiar with that one?
Oh, Roxbury is amazing. Okay, so Roxbury, you gotta watch it. It depends on where in Roxbury. If you give me the addresses, I can tell you.
383 Roxbury. Because there's actually a 1-bed, 1-bath, same square footage they just flipped over there for $115.
That's high. You can talk them down. Are you okay? Okay, high. Let me give you the areas that you want to. Roxbury is good, but there's a lot of drugs. You got drugs. This town, this is where they shot. Oh God, what is it? That's my husband. It's a lot of drugs in the area. Hold on, Rich. What was the name of that? Okay, have you ever heard of Dope Sick?
Dope Sick. Nah, is that a movie?
Yeah, look it up. They shot that movie in the town, okay? And one of the reasons why they chose the town is because of the drugs. Even with Greenbrier, now I had a business right on the main road there, Main Street in White Sulphur. It's an awesome place because you've got the Greenbrier right there, but it's also a drug haven. So you have to, somebody from the outside, you need to really understand your streets.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I know my street. That's where we live, where my grandmother was. That's away from. So even though it's not on the heights, anything you can find on the heights as well. How far are you from Clifton? Are you in the area?
No, I've got a buddy. I got a buddy over there, so we do some business. I'm actually.
Oh.
You said you're out of Dallas. My grandmother actually lives in Mesquite.
Oh, I love Mesquite. We're in Arlington, right by the stadium.
Okay.
I love Mesquite. But let me tell you, if you need some help with the area, I can help you because trust me, I studied it because I was running for council. There's a lot of things that are needed for the youth. And not too far from there, they Mountain View Apartments, I advocated over there because that was almost like it wasn't a part of the town, because that's where the HUD house is. But what I was trying to explain to them is you got to look at all areas, because with a town that small, if you ignore what's going on up there, it will be right at your doorstep.
Yeah, for sure.
It matters. So there are a lot of things. They are attracting a lot of people from Northern Virginia and other places, because with everything that's going on in the world right now, a lot of people are running to the mountains and places like that area. We also have property, 1.5 acres in Monroe, North Carolina, near Charlotte.
Okay, yeah. I'm from Wilson.
I'm also looking to sell. But anyway, they are running to these areas. But there are just some things you want to be aware of. And this is why I was on council, because I'm from Maryland.
Okay.
So when we came there are a lot of things that I wasn't used to. It's different when you're visiting as a child versus now you're living there. It's very different. But it's a beautiful, quaint town. They've got coffee shops and there are a lot of investors looking to bring, because it's like virgin territory for business. Yeah. And I will say that they have a huge need for bed and breakfast, hotels, anything for people to stay. Because what happens is White Sulphur gets flooded, and so people start looking at the areas close by. And in that town, they've got a Hampton Inn that charges almost $200 a night for bed bugs. It's horrible. And then there's a Magnum. There's another hotel, but all of those hotels are trashed. Anywhere else, you wouldn't pay that much for that. But there, because there's not a lot of places, a lot of people, that's what you have.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of Airbnbs that are opening in the town because there's such a huge need. When they have the different reunions and things like that, there's never anywhere for people to stay. And so there's one place you can call the owner and talk to her. It's called the Red Lantern. and I cannot remember her name, but they're friendly. Just ask her some questions about the housing market. And people like her are begging for places to be created for people to stay because they book up with no problem. And then they normally direct people to other places, but a lot of times they don't. Like you have some that they're not handicap accessible. If you have somebody that's handicapped, then okay, now they don't have a place to stay.
Yeah, for sure.
So just do some research on these streets because you don't want to get a property that's drug, and so then you have your house cleaned up, but then you've got the issues.
Yep.
But your friend should have a good idea of the property there.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good idea. We just got to be super careful in this market as housing prices are all over the place. So that's why I really appreciate you going through those streets with me. I had one more that looks very identical to your house. 637 Verge Street. It's yellow. It's got the same deck. It looks like I think the same person built it. Like,
Yep. The same guy put the deck on.
okay.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, and you just ask around. Don't take my word for it, but you're talking to someone who lived in the town.
Yeah.
Now, Verge Street is adjacent to Spring Street, so it's basically in the same area, but the visibility of 634 is way better. Where that house is positioned, you can't beat it. And I'm telling you, if I didn't have to worry about family and deal with family over who wants to buy it or this, I would still be there, and I would knock what I have down and put another structure there.
Oh, man.
Only because my family is so big. So I'm just telling you, you cannot beat that location.
Yeah.
Literally in that little section, we sit in the middle, and you literally could look over the mountains all around, and you have very good visibility. You can see all the way up to the heights. Now, I know this because I brought a team of probably about 100 people. We did an outreach, and we went right behind the house, and we were able to look down over the whole town. It's a very good area. To be honest with you, 69, what we were originally, what it was put on the market, was not enough for me.
Yeah. I know that one on Verge has been on the market 90-something days at 79.
Yeah. That side of the street, and I have an aunt that's on Verge Street.
Yeah.
I know all those people. Trust me, I have gone door to door praying with people in outreach, and so I know the area. But I'm just talking about if you're going to invest in an area or invest in a house. I don't know about the roof. It's probably very old. It probably needs to be replaced, but it's a very good location.
So what do you think? What do you think about 25,000? I can make it pretty, like shiny, like a penny.
I wouldn't even, because what we had estimated, we were going to sand the floors because we had a tenant to paint our hardwood, which was ridiculous. So we were going to just sand the floor, and there are some places where we had tenants put stuff in the walls, and they didn't patch it. They didn't sand it after they tried to patch it, and we were going to just sand the walls down really good. And like I said, the windows are new. You could probably do 25, and depending on the roof. Now, the roof is probably going to cost the most.
That's what I was thinking.
The roof is going to cost the most, but outside of the roof is cosmetic.
So here's how I do my formula, and I love talking to investor-minded, and I'm glad that I'm talking to you about it. So
yeah, because I'm probably giving too much.
Oh no, you're doing perfect. That way we don't.
I'm in the same place. Actually, I'm just starting. I used to work for a mortgage company.
Okay.
But I'm just starting. We sold the main house in Maryland. My dad had a house. I think it was on the market for $450. But I did a quick sale because I have a brother that was in there not paying the mortgage like he promised, and it was about to go into foreclosure, so I had to sell it quick. But how I was able to stomach that is I know that I'm able to take some of that money and flip it. So I can get their properties you can get for $1,000 auctions and stuff like that. So I'm just now getting started with real estate where I am in Texas, which is a good market. You should look into it.
And what area?
Texas.
Oh yeah, I do a lot in Texas.
Good. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just learning about the tax deed, tax lien, and all that type of stuff. But
So
I'm very knowledgeable, so I don't mind sharing it. What I do know, I don't know everything, but
me neither. I like to be as transparent as I can. If I can make a deal with somebody, great. If not, great. I'm sure we'll do something. Right?
Yeah, there's so many properties right now that
So I think this thing is like a $90,000 property. And the way I do my formula is I just multiply it by 70%. So I get my 30% gap and I subtract my repairs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was asking you what you thought repairs would be. So if I think this is a $90,000 property, if I'm right, and I multiply it by 70%, I'm at 63. And if I subtract repairs, I'm at 38.40 or so. But I know that's too low for you, but I just wanted to tell you where my head was at.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to sell that. Let me give it away.
Okay.
But those there's a lot of properties in the area, and I would even look into commercial properties because there's a lot of those too.
Yeah.
That have housing connected.
Yeah. When do you need to sell this by? When do y'all want to sell this? Do y'all have a timeline? Does it matter? Can you sit on it a while?
It's really up to me. I just want to sell as soon as possible. I want to move on. As long as that property is there, it pulls me there.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting ready to fly there. I was going to do some work in landscaping and stuff out there. If I don't have to do that stuff, it would really be wonderful. Especially right now, around this election time. I would rather not be trying to fly around and do stuff like that. So as soon as possible.
What if I just, for a second, like we put a little money in your family's pocket, the heirs, and we did this terms deal, right? And we paid you a little more. Because here's the alternative is say that you do go find some other, or you do keep knocking on doors and seeing if you could get your number, and hopefully you can, but say you can't because the way the market is, and you want to sell right away. And I can do that right away.
Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Okay.
I was trying to read your mind.
Oh no, you can't do that.
I'm just kidding.
But anyway, 38 is way too low. That is way too low. And so I don't know what other offer. Because with your formulation, that's where you end up. So to me, I don't want to do any less than 52.
Okay.
So I understand if you can't, it's fine.
Yeah.
I understand if you can't. Because there's quite a few in town. Like I said, you just got to watch the addresses, though.
So what if we did 60, but we did $8,000 down, and we took that $8,000 and we dispersed it among your heirs, right? And then we paid that payment every month. So we paid you more for the property, and we did a balloon in 60 months. So whatever's left over at the 60-month mark, we got to pay all that at once. And we could close in 2 weeks, as soon as your title or attorney or whatever's ready.
Mm-hmm. So what title do you use? Because I just did this and I didn't have to do anything. They paid all the fees. They had their own title.
Yep.
And, yeah. So you're saying you would put $10,000 down?
8,000.
8,000. Okay, so that's 2,000 to each person.
Yep, and then we just pay that monthly payment. We take care of taxes, insurance, maintenance, closing costs, and there's a 5-year balloon. So at the end of that 5-year mark, whatever's left over, that's what we just pay it all at once. And we can close in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's not enough. I can just wait till we can get at least 52.
Okay.
Yep.
What about that property in North Carolina?
It's just land. It's 1.3 acres. It's 20 minutes outside of Charlotte in Monroe, North Carolina, which is a very good area. Yeah.
Is it restricted?
No, it has water, septic, and what was I going to say? Electric is out there.
Is there an RV, a camper, or anything, or is it just land?
It was my grandparents' land, so it's land.
Okay. What's the address?
It's 213 Stack Road, and it's Monroe, North Carolina, 28110.
Perfect. I'm pulling that up. And how much y'all want for that one?
I think the last offer I got was 45.
You're just getting offers from everybody.
Yeah, and I didn't even have to. They've been giving offers before I even was interested in offers. My parents were getting offers. My my grandfather, when he was living and had farm and everything on the land, people would come out there all the time to buy it. This has been going on for a minute.
Yeah.
It's just only now you're even entertaining it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd be on a payment thing on that one too, because I think that's your numbers. That's retail for that property.
Yep.
Can't pay retail.
You know, nobody would ever be able to pay me what that was worth. I spent all my summers up till I was 25 on that land.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nobody would ever be able to pay me enough for that land if I was going to go buy value that baby. But yeah.
Cool deal. You're sure about your other one too, right? Can I follow up with you in a couple weeks if you haven't got your?
Check with me. If you can call me tomorrow, I'll talk to my husband and I'll talk to my aunts.
Okay.
And see if they would consider that. But you just gave me some ideas when I call.
Heck yeah.
That frees your, that's smart, very smart. But yeah, if you could just check with me tomorrow, I'll call them.
Okay. What time you want to call you tomorrow?
Something that they would be willing to do. I just, the $500 a month, that's $100 a month for every, I just already know about that.
Well, here's the thing about real estate, and you know this, everything's negotiable. So whatever I say is not etched in stone, but I do think that there's synergy and we both want to do a deal and we can make something happen.
Okay, and I'll throw some things. I'll sit down and come up with some things too, and if it's something you could do.
Yeah, for sure. I'm always open to negotiating. What time are you available tomorrow? I need to make sure that.
I'd say like 5 o'clock is good for me.
5 p.m. Is that Central Standard Time?
Oh, yes.
I have a meeting at 5. Can we do?
You can just call me. I'll be working around the house. Just call when you're free.
I'm gonna put you in my phone at noon because I have to etch it out or I'm donezo.
I'm sure noon is good.
Okay, I will talk to you at noon tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Bye bye.